Hi everyone, Leticia here again with Made with Love by Glama, where everything here is made with love. Today's tutorial is going to be for beginners. It's going to be using basically just 2 stitches. You're just going to have to know how to chain and how to do a single crochet. And if you don't know how to do that, I will be showing you on the tutorial. So we're going to be making slippers, and it's super easy. This is what we're going to be making. This is small, it's my size, it fits my foot. So basically what we're going to be doing is a rectangle of single crochets, and then at the end of the video I'll show you how to put it all together. And as you see, you know, it's puckered up, and there are fancier ways to make slippers, but this is, like I said, for beginners, and you can wear them. They're very comfortable. And then what I found when I made these is, because it's just a rectangle, this was very pointy. So what I did is I tucked the point in, and on the inside I sewed it. So there's like a little spot for your heel, and it's very comfortable. I just sewed the little point to right in there. So I'll be showing you how to do that if you want, unless you don't mind the real pointy heel. So this is what we're going to be making, a very simple slipper. And you can feel proud that you actually made an article of clothing, or a shoe, slipper. It's an article of clothing, right? All right. I actually made 3 different versions of these when I was making them. I was trying to think, what kind of tutorial can I make that someone who only knows 1 stitch, you know, that they can actually make something with it. In my last tutorial, I made a yarn cozy. That was very simple. But what was even easier was the book cover that I made. That was just a rectangle of single crochets as well. And funny, but I kind of came up with this, and it's a rectangle too. But you can wear this one. So anyway, we're going to be making this one, and then I came up with another version that's a little bit more difficult, but not really. And then a third one that I made for my daughter, and that one's a little bit fancier, but still super easy, and you can make them really fast. All right, I'm gonna shut the camera off real quick so I can go get the other 2 that I made and show you what they look like. Okay, I'm back. I've got the other 2 slippers that I kind of came up with, and I wanted to show them to you. I'm gonna make 3 separate videos. A video for the one that I just showed you, the really easy one, and then I'm gonna make a video for the second one that I came up with, and then the third. So there'll be 3 different videos that you can kind of use as a practice to get better at crocheting. So after you've done the first slipper, and then the second slipper right here, and then by the time you get to the third one, you'll be a pro. Alright, you'll have those single crochets and half double crochets down like a pro. So this is the second version I came up with. I started off with just the slipper part like I showed you previously, and then I added a booty to it and a couple buttons, and isn't that adorable? And it's super easy. I'm going to show you how to make these. And then the third one that I came up with, I made for my daughter. I'm trying to hurry up and finish them because she's going to leave for the weekend, so I'm going to try to finish them so she can take them with her and wear them, because it's rainy over here and kind of cold. So this is the third version that I came up with, and this one uses half double crochets. And I made it a little bit fancier, but still super easy. And I put little shells on the trim, and this one actually opens and closes and buttons. So there's the cute little buttons. And this one, I also did something a little different. Instead of just a rectangle, I actually tapered the toe. I made some decreases to taper the toe, so it's not as puckered up as the first one. So this is going to be the third video that I make. So you got to stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe, so that way whenever I make the second one and the third one, you'll be alerted to it. I also wanted to show you the very first slipper that I showed you is very plain, very, you know, simple. And I wanted to show you how you can dress it up. You could dress up the first one, or you can even dress up the booty right here, just putting a little embellishment. You can crochet yourself a flower. This one's kind of big, but you know, crochet yourself a littler flower, a heart, anything. You could put a little bow on it, you know. This one's a big bow, but you could put a little bow on it. This is just what I have hanging around the house. but I just wanted to show you. Even as a beginner, you can make something very adorable. So okay, stay tuned, and now we're gonna get started on that very first slipper. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on our slippers, the very easy slippers that I came up with for you all. It's for beginners. All you need to know is how to chain and how to single crochet. And if you've watched a couple of my videos, you'll know that I had, on my very first one, I had said that I would tell you the name of the nail polish that I'm wearing, since that's all you'll be looking at pretty much is my hands. So today this is what I have on. So I thought I would wear a color that's kind of for fall, since fall is on its way. And it's by Ultra Pro. See if we can get it in the camera. And the color is called Creamsicle. Let me see if the camera can pick up the name. Creamsicle. Yeah. So I got this when I lived in Texas, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it again here in Washington. But that's the color that I'm wearing. And what you'll be needing for your slippers today is some yarn. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver in, what color is this? It's called Warm Brown, whatever. Oh, okay, Warm Brown, and then that's another language. And then that's in Spanish, which I can read that one, Café Caluroso. But in English, it's Warm Brown. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Because I want them to be nice and durable. So it's kind of a not as soft of a yarn, but it is a nice durable yarn. And another thing you'll be needing is your H hook. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. There, it's an H hook and a pair of scissors. And I use a row counter. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's kind of tedious to have to go back and recount rows all the time, so I'm going to use a row counter. And you'll need a tapestry or a yarn needle, and I use a yarn threader or a needle threader because I'm having more difficult time seeing than I used to. So okay, go ahead and get all your supplies ready and meet me back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Normally we use a little short tail when we're crocheting projects, but I'm going to suggest that you leave about a 18 to 20 inch tail, because we're going to use that to sew up our heel at the end. So for any of you who are new, I'm going to make a slip knot, and this is how I make mine. I wrap my yarn around, and this yarn that I just laid down goes to the back, and now it kind of looks like a pretzel, and you grab that with your hook and you just pull gently. You don't have to make it too tight, because then it'll be hard for the yarn to slide through. And now we're just going to do single crochet. We're going to do chains first, I'm sorry. And this is how you do a chain if you're new at this. This is your working yarn, and this is the hand that holds your crochet hook. You can either hold it like this or hold it like this. I switch between this and this when my hands get tired. So in order to make a chain, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so to make a chain, you just wrap the yarn around your hook, bring it through that little slip knot that you made, and that's how you make a chain. You just keep doing that. I think I'm going to make 33, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off here, but that's how you make a chain. And the reason I'm going to make 33 is because that's a good size for the bottom of my foot, from the heel to my toe. This 33 chains is the size of my foot. So go ahead and stop when you've got the size that measures your foot from heel to toe. Yours might be 40, yours might be 20, yours might be 35. So go ahead and chain however many you need for the length of your heel to toe, okay? And meet me back here. Okay, so now that we have our chain completed, this is what it should be looking like. It kind of looks like a braid or like a V. I don't know if you can kind of see the V there. We're going to be working on this side of the V, these loops right here. So now we're going to do single crochets. So now you learned how to do a chain, and now we're going to do single crochets. So you've got your hook, you've got your working yarn, and let's see if the camera can pick this up. Okay, we're going to put our hook into that first top loop. I'm trying to look through the camera here, see what I'm doing. Okay, that first top loop, and then we're going to grab the yarn, that's called yarning over, and grab the hook and pull it through that top part of the V, and now we have 2 loops. Now we're going to yarn over again, and we're going to pull that yarn through those 2 loops. And that's a single crochet. And let's just do that all the way till we get to the end of the row, and then we'll come back here and I will continue to tell you what to do next for your slipper. It's so super easy. You're gonna be amazed at how easy it is. Okay, so meet me back here when you are completely done with your row of single crochets, and then stop at the last stitch and I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, so now that we've gone all the way down the row with single crochets, I've got one more stitch to make for my last row. I'm going to show you what to do next. So you've got that, you've got 2 loops right there. Now we're going to chain 1 and then turn our work around, and we're going to single crochet down this row now. We're just going to keep doing this until we have enough, until it's wide enough to wrap around our foot. So basically, sorry, bringing my foot up here. So basically we're going to keep making this as wide until we can wrap it all the way around our foot like this, and then we're going to stitch it right here, and we're going to drawstring it at the toe, and we're going to sew it over here. So anyway, go ahead and make yours as long, make the rectangle as long as you need for it to wrap around the top of your foot, okay? And then meet me back here. Hi guys, I'm back. I'm going to be starting my 3rd row. This is the end of my 2nd row, and I'm chaining 1 and turning my work around, and this is my 3rd row that I'm going to be starting. But the reason I'm back before I have the full length of my rectangle is because it dawned on me that I didn't quite explain how to go through this part of the V. All I said is go through that stitch and yarn over and pull it through. But if you notice, after we've done some rows, even that first row, you see that we still have the V's right there. The V's aren't just for the chain. We have V's all the way through our project. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through both, see, both parts of the V. Oops, I'm almost off the camera. Okay, so when we did our chain and then we did our first row, we only used the back part of the V, you know, that part right there of the V. This time we're going to go through both and then yarn over and then pull it through, yarn over and pull it through. Okay, so go through both loops of the V and yarn over, pull through and yarn over. Another thing that I wanted to tell you is later there are other projects that call for just using that back V or that back loop or that front loop, and when you do that, it kind of gives your project texture. So, but for this project, we're gonna grab both sides of the V like that and yarn over and then yarn over again. And another thing that I wanted to say is this is kind of a thicker yarn, so if you don't want a lot of pucker at the toe once we do the drawstring, I'm gonna show you what you could do. You could actually use a thinner yarn. See, I don't know if you can see the difference of yarn. This one is simply soft and it's a lot softer and thinner. And this one's the red heart that I'm using. It's more durable, but it's thicker, and so when you go ahead and pull the drawstring together, it's very puckered up, and some people may not think that's comfortable for your toe to be feeling that real puckered up, that real thick puckered up part. So if you don't like that, you think it's going to bother your toe, then go ahead and get a softer yarn, and you can do it with that. Okay, I will meet you back here when your rectangle is as long as you need it to wrap around your foot. Okay, have fun. Okay, so now that you've done all the rows that you need for it to wrap around your foot, now I'm going to show you what to do next. I ended up crocheting, let me see, 36 rows, and so I wanted a nice snug fit, so I stopped at 36, and this is how it fits my foot. See? So that wraps around my foot, and now I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, so now that we have the length or the width that we need to fit our foot, I went ahead and left one last stitch to do with you guys so you can see how I finish it off, how I fasten it off. So I'm going to do my last single crochet, and then what you want to do now to fasten it off is make one chain, pull it through, and then snug it down to make that little knot nice and tight so it doesn't come undone. And now we're going to use our tapestry needle, and I'm gonna get my old lady's needle threader because I'm an old lady. I am. I'll be 49 this month. I remember when I was 15, 25, 30 sounded ancient. Okay, so now that we have our needle threaded and we have our square or our rectangle, for me it's a square, what we're going to do on this side that we just threaded the needle, we're going to fold that in half, and that's going to be your heel. So fold that in half and then go ahead and just stitch that together. I believe these are called whip stitches. Just just go like this. I don't even know how to explain it. I'll just show you. Okay, so just go to the edge right here so you have as much room for your foot as possible, and just do a whip stitch. Whoops. Not a whoops stitch, but a whip stitch. Yes, I know, I'm goofy. But you know, that's why my granddaughters love me so much. So if that's what it takes, then I'll just continue being my goofy old self. Okay, so go ahead and do that all the way to the end, and then meet me back here. Okay, so I did my whip stitch all along down the side, which is our heel. So earlier when I was telling you that the heel was really square, that's what I'm talking about right there. I thought it was a little too square. It looked a little awkward to me. So this is turning it to the right side. And I just think it looks a little weird because your foot goes like this. And so there's that little corner that's not necessary. So what I did is let me do it real quick first. Okay, let's turn it back to the wrong side. What I did is I took this corner, just kind of pinched it right there, and brought it up to the seam, and now I'm going to sew that. And you can do that if you want. If the pointy heel doesn't bother you, then go ahead and just wait for me to do this and meet me back here. But let me show you how I'm kind of doing this first before I let you go. So just kind of stitch it and go down this side. Well, let me just stay on camera with you, because I'm going to show you how I get to the other side of that point now. So I'm sure there's other ways for people to do this that are probably better than my way, but like I said, I'm not following a pattern or a tutorial. This is just kind of what I came up with, and this is totally beginners. So go ahead and now that you're done with that side, just weave your thread, not your thread, your yarn in and out till you get to the other side. So now we're going to stitch up this side closed. Hope I'm staying in the camera. It's hard to work while you're looking through the camera, and anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Probably more than I do. Okay, almost done. And then I'll turn it to the right side to show you what I was talking about. Okay, so now go ahead and just fasten it off. Maybe do that another time just to secure it. And so you don't have a long tail, I'm just going to go ahead and weave this in somewhere. And now just cut it off there. Right there. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And I'm going to turn mine inside out. So this is the right side now. See how this kind of looks more natural for a person's heel instead of that pointy edge. And I'll kind of just put my foot in it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I don't know if you can see. It's hard to get it in there, but to get it in the shot. But there it is. There's my heel, and it's not pointy. It's nice and rounded like our heel. And so if you want to do that, go ahead and back this up and go ahead and sew that point up like I did, and then meet me back here and I'll show you what to do with the toe part. Okay, so now that you've done that, you've done the heel, I already threaded the other side of the slipper, and we're going to do the toe part now. So I'm going to turn it back inside out to the wrong side. Okay, and here's where my thread is. So what I'm going to do is, with this long tail that I asked you to leave, go ahead and just weave it in and out at the top, and do that all the way till you get to the end on the other side, and then I'll show you what to do. Meet me back here. So now I'm sure you've guessed what we're going to do with this. This is the toe part. So now that we've weaved it in and out, go ahead and just pull it, draw it closed, just pull it nice and tight as you can, so that there's not a hole at the toe, because then your toe might come out. So go ahead and pull it as tight as you can, and to where there's no hole at all, and then meet me back here. Okay, so I went ahead and closed mine as much as I could. I'm talking funny because I have the needle in my mouth. Not very safe, huh? Okay, so I don't know if you remember earlier when I said that this would be kind of bulky and chunky because we're using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. So this is going to be what your toe is touching. And so someone might not find that very comfortable, and that's why I had suggested if you're very sensitive and don't like, you know, things like that, the bulkiness touching your toe, you might want to use a thinner yarn like this, Caron Simply Soft, and it won't be as bulky up here. It'll be a little smoother, more than likely. I haven't made one with that yet. My very first slipper were the brown ones that I showed you. So okay, now that you have it as closed as you can, get the other side, and we're going to stitch it closed, if I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and stitch that closed, the two sides together, and then what you're going, now that you have that holding in place, go ahead and do that, go through it a couple more times so that it's nice and secure. I think I'm hungry, my hand's shaking. Okay, so this is the toe, this is the heel, and this is the top of the foot. And so now you have to determine how big you want the opening to be. So I'm going to do mine probably to about there. Okay, so go ahead and stitch the top as far as you think that you'll be comfortable, so you can get your foot in and out of. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. I should do it off camera so this isn't such a long video, but I don't know if I completely explained myself well, so I'll just go ahead and do it with you. Sometimes I have a hard time articulating what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say, but y'all can't read my mind. So anyway, I'll just do it with you. I hope you had fun crocheting your slipper. I told you it was so easy, just a bunch of single crochets, and it ended up being a square or a rectangle, however size your foot is, and that was it. Okay, so I think I'm going to go up a little higher. Okay, I think I'll stop there, and I'm not going to cut it off yet, but you can go ahead and, well, you can go like this. Just go ahead and do what you did at the toe area and just reinforce it a little more. Hold on, let me get my thread out of there. Just go ahead and reinforce it a little bit that way, and then fasten it off. And I'm going to turn it inside out already so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so there's your slipper pretty much. See? I'm going to go ahead and try it on for you. I hope it fits. It fits, it fits. Yay! So there's my slipper. Yay! Maybe I should put on the other foot. It's a little too dark like that. Okay, so here it is on the other. Yeah, that's better. It's a little lighter. So this is a beginner slipper. Isn't that just awesome? And look at how the bottom fits our heel. And it's comfortable. And this doesn't bother me. The puckered up look doesn't bother me, so I like it. And like I said earlier, if you want to dress it up a little bit, just make yourself a little bow or a flower and put it there. Okay, so like I was saying, another thing you can do to the top of the opening there, if you want a more finished look, is you can go ahead and, since I didn't leave a long enough tail, I'm going to go ahead and attach some new yarn. And this is how I'm going to attach it. There's different ways to do it, but that's how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to leave that long of a tail. I think I'll leave kind of a short tail. Let me see. Yeah, like that. That's good. So hold on to your tail, and then here you go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one, and now I'm just going to make single crochets at the top to reinforce it a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch that tail in so that I don't have to weave it in later. So if you want to do that, go ahead. So just go ahead and do this on every stitch if you want a more finished look. Okay, so that's my last stitch. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. And so now that you're at your last stitch and you made your single crochet, go to your very first stitch that you made when you attached the new yarn and slip your hook through there, pull the yarn over and pull it through, and then pull it through there, and that's a slip stitch. And then to finish it off, you would chain one and then tie it off and then pull it all the way through and make your little knot there, and then you'd be done. Another idea that I just thought of is if you wanted to, instead of just putting like a bow or a flower there, you could even either get a ribbon or make yourself a little I don't know, what do you call it? Drawstring. and you can weave it in and out of these stitches, and then you could make a little bow there, you know, bring it all the way around, weave it all the way around, and then just make yourself a little bow right there. And I think that would be cute too, so that's a good idea. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, it's a very, very simple slipper for beginners. And so this is something that you can make for friends or as gifts or for yourself, and very quick to make and very cute. So if you liked it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because I still have slipper number 2 and slipper number 3 coming up. Okay, well, thank you for visiting Made with Love by Glamma, where everything here is made with love. Alright guys, bye bye.